for those that aren't in your following, but they're here in St. Pete, and they're like, well, who's this guy in the red shirt with the sunglasses on?
Trading is my number one focus. The business behind my trading, ASFX, is education, seminars, live streaming, sharing the trading, trying to just shortcut people's learning curve. People are not incentivized in America to become entrepreneurs. We're not, which we should be. We would be a better country if we were. If everybody thought, how do I be productive? People chase happiness, they should chase productivity.
Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to Talkin St. Pete. I'm your host, Ryan Bogdan. Before I get into today's episode, I want to let you know that this is sponsored by Bogdan Homes. And are you looking for insurance coverage that's as unique as the Sunshine City itself? Look no further. More Resources Insurance is your trusted partner right here in St. Petersburg. And why should you choose them? First off, they offer more carriers and market options than any other agency in Tampa Bay, ensuring that you get the coverage that's tailor-made just for you. They are a multi-line agency, which means they have comprehensive commercial and personal lines of coverage, so your needs are fully met. Pretty much, if the word insurance is in it, they have something for you, whether that's from home, auto, boat, yacht, renters, life insurance, or workers' compensation, you name it, they have it. And the best part is they hold a 5-star rating on all the places that you can leave a review. With over 16 years of dedicated service, they have been delivering exceptional customer service. You can get a free quote at www.davemoreinsurance.com. That's www.davemoreinsurance.com. And now on to our awesome guest, Austin Silver. He's back, folks. He's back. Back in the house.
Round two.
He's our first repeat guest. He's the co-founder of ASFX. Did I say it? Yeah, that's the right letters. I feel like I got a tongue twister.
I got pit stains? Are they going to see?
No. You're good. You're good, dude. A trading education company. He crushing it in that space. Thought leader when it comes to trading, and it's a pleasure to call my brother-in-law. And now, dude, since you've been here, you became a father.
Yeah.
How's that?
I mean, I kind of been like a dad to everybody in our friend group for a long time, but now I have one to call my own.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, you see him almost every day now, so it's cool. Like, he's around a lot of people that love him. It's just, kind of hard to talk about because it's just feelings.
It's a feelings.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. And he's a really cool dude.
Yeah. It's just been a lot with when he came, my dad, the whole thing. So it's just
a lot's changed. Dude.
A lot's happened.
A lot's changed. Yeah. And I appreciate your support and all this and watching all that. I mean, from where we started to where we are now.
Here we are. Hopefully this video beats the last one. I deserve the #1 spot. I get everybody like Jody and the J-Con people. I'm coming for them.
You're coming for them. I'm coming back. He wants redemption. He wants redemption.
So we need some clickbaity questions.
Okay. First one. If you were a cartoon character, which one would best describe you?
Okay, give me a direction, like Nickelodeon, Cartoon
Whatever,
Network.
dude. Think of cartoons. I'm not pigeonholing you here. If you're a cartoon character, out of all the cartoon characters that you can think of, which one like best describs you? Like, not that you want to be.
Like I'm a mixture of Hey Arnold and
Hey Football Head.
right. Because when I was a kid, I always had a big head. I've just kind of grown into it, and a mixture of Hey Arnold and the main dude. Who was the main dude in Rocket Power? Otto.
Oh yeah, woogity.
Yeah. Maybe those are just what I want to be like because I'm not a surfer. I don't have blonde hair. I'm not a skateboarder. But I don't know why those are the two that I feel like.
Well, you got the long hair now.
I got the long hair now, but not like the long surfer.
It's significantly longer from where it was a year ago.
It is.
Yeah. You've been working on that.
I've been working on it. People look at the pictures of me when I had the old, some of my old YouTube videos, like the more popular videos that have been up for a couple of years, and I don't look anything like it. So I've had to go change the thumbnails. But then you click the thumbnail, and it looks like the guy on the thumbnail ate the guy in the video. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny, bro. And people are like, yeah, I've been watching your videos since you were, beardless.
It's just funny when you were just a young boy.
Right, but really it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Yeah. No. I wonder maybe people just struggle to grow beards, bro. Like, I think that's the thing. I get more compliments from guys than you, it's weird. Yeah.
It's weird?
Yeah.
Well, because they envy the beard growth.
I wonder if they that's what I should get, bro, for my podcast. I should get a sponsor for something for the beard. I'd sell the shit out of that.
You should, actually. Yeah. Ryan Pineda talks about how people take him more serious now that he has a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also beefed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think there is something about that. I feel like it does make you look a little more like subconsciously. Maybe I'm wrong, but like wise,
maybe you have
experienced,
wisdom.
right?
There's some wisdom in that
Because it takes time to grow it.
Right.
It doesn't just, I mean, unless it's fake and like glued on, which is, maybe it is.
So for those, I got another question for you. But for those who this is their first time being,
I'm glad I almost made you spit the water out on the Hey Arnold.
I haven't thought about Hey Arnold like that's in a while.
It was going to be cat dog, but I couldn't give a good reasoning for that. But that came to mind too.
For those that don't know what ASFX is, for those that aren't in your following, but they're here in St. Pete and they're like, well, who's this guy in the red shirt with the sunglasses on and the long hair? What do you do? What's the best way? What's your synopsis?
I've been day trading for like every day for the last almost 8 years. So that's what I really am, is I'm a day trader. Last year, I had a really good year. This year, followed it up with a good year until June. And then I took a break from trading. So when I'm distracted, my business then takes the focus. But otherwise, trading is my number one focus. The business behind my trading, ASFX, is education, seminars, live streaming, sharing the trading, trying to just shortcut people's learning curve. Really.
And what makes you different than anyone else? I know the answer, but I want to hear what you think.
I'm disciplined and confident.
Yeah.
That's really it. Those two things. Because I think a lot of people would try to make money through trading. They'll lose money.
So day trading, and then you changed your what you're trading, right? You're because you were like in Forex.
Yeah, but I think anyone that trades for 10, 15 years, like look at them, they never just stayed trading one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just evolving. I think that's what makes me successful, is that I'm hard to kill. Like I'll have a year like last year, June to June, I was up 22%. To me, that's a really good year. Some people would look at that, people that have not had a 22% year for the most part, and they would talk shit about that. They would be like, you should be doing 22%
Yeah, but what
a
else
month.
makes you different? Because you've grounded yourself as a a figurehead in this space because of your consistency, and you're not driving a Lambo and flashy.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That. I think when I talk to people that pay for our mentorship, which is the most expensive thing that we sell, and it's limited and everything like that, they all tell me, I liked your content because you're not trying to convince me. I was just talking to Jody about this in the gym. I don't sell my business, my trading, education and stuff. I don't sell the mentorship by convincing people. I've given out so much free value through my podcast, my interviews, my YouTube videos, my live streams, my content on social, that they're obligated to buy. So you can either sell from persuasion or obligation, and I always will choose obligation. I will give you so much, and I will look so different than these other people that you'll feel obligated to buy. Yeah. It's a good position to be in.
No, it is. It's attraction versus.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of these other dudes are trying to persuade people. You know what I mean? Where they'll like get in your DM and try to convince you, give me this, give me that, I'll do this for you. Mine is very clearly out there. It's worded a specific way to make sure that people understand realistic expectations when they come into the business and what we're offering. And I think that's why we've never had any issues. I've got, really, if you look at like Trustpilot, which to me is a really good place for people that are selling their personal brand, there's no one in my space who has as many 5-star Trustpilot reviews as me. There's other businesses, but not personal brands like me. You know what I mean? And there's like, for example, brokerages or other trading education companies that have been around longer than me. They have good reputations, but a personal brand, people like that are creating content and then saying, hey, I'll help you.
It's hard to do. I feel like we can go back in time, and there was when you just started to get a trust, I was like, bro, you need to get some more.
Yeah.
And you went heavy on it.
Well, we did a big I figured out I could offer people cash giveaways that had already bought my course. I said, look, if you just leave a review, it enters you to win this cash giveaway. People like cash. People like giveaways. People like free stuff. So really, when you need people to do something, I've learned, I was just talking to you about it the other night, offer them money. They'll do it, but they're not going to go out of their way often to do something, even if it helped them. You know what I mean? I've sold over 1,500 courses since 2019. I only have 300 reviews. So even there, what's that fraction? 20%, less than that?
Yep.
So it's hard to get people to sometimes enter into this or put their name and email in. It's hard. So you have to be creative.
People get bombarded from all angles.
But that's why I'm different too, because I'm creative. I have that entrepreneurial spirit. Some of these other guys are just traders, bro. And that's a good thing. Like there's really good traders out there, guys that beat my 22%. They smoke me. I'm not the best trader, but I'm a good coach because I have successful students that are trading full time now.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that's changed for you over the last year. You've had more and more people get funded. Explain what that is and why it's a big deal.
It's just letting people use other people's money, which in your business, in real estate, that's very common. You know, so it's letting people trade with other people's money, meaning if you can prove to these prop firms that you know how to trade, they'll fund you. You have to trade within their constraints. They all have different constraints, but this model has been out for a long time. It's just now becoming slightly tweaked and then made available to the everyday person at home, where you don't have to be in the office in New York like where I started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's just shifted and become like retail. Like COVID really pushed people to making money online. It exploded then. So what we're helping people do is just pass these challenges, have the education and the knowledge to not just get funded, but then stay funded and actually see payouts from that capital that they're now allowed to trade with.
As you're saying all this, I was thinking of how much is this and what you do in the mentorship, just accountability, right? Because in this world, it's your own worst enemy.
70%. Because accountability is, if you are like asked, like if I ask you, Ryan, hold me accountable, I want to lose 10 pounds. There's a level of discipline that now it has just initially entered the conversation. So discipline comes with accountability. If you don't have discipline in your life, what I tell everybody is you just need more accountability. That's like the easiest way to get more discipline, is have someone bother the balls off of you when you ask them to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when you say, what's the number? How much of this is accountability? Well, it's 60% because that also includes discipline. 70% because it still includes discipline. That other 30% I think is work ethic, curiosity, willingness to learn, things like that I think not everybody has. And that's why people struggle with trading. Like someone watching, I'm sure, has tried to trade, right?
Well, I always it's funny because of knowing you and that when I always hear someone say, oh, I'm a day trader, I'm like.
That's why I don't like to lead with that even. Yeah, it's very sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why like I said, I'm confident because I know that I'm not the best trader. I make money trading, but I'm a really good coach. My business is helping people make more money. And that's why I speak about that Trustpilot and I talk about those reviews, because I don't want to sell you from persuasion.
Right. Just go look at what the
Go read my reviews.
Yep.
There's no way you can fake Trustpilot reviews. They take down real reviews sometimes. I have real clients that have left reviews and Trustpilot flags them sometimes.
They're like, no, they're too good.
They're literally, bro, they're like, someone said this to me on a sales call once. They're like, I go on your Trustpilot and you have all 5-star and like 1 or 2 1-star. The 1-star ones are clearly like scammy people that think you stole their Instagram or something, which is like clearly someone pretending to be me that does that, right? Which is that whole scam thing. Yeah. But he's like, you have too many 5-star reviews. It looks fake. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I didn't tell them to leave a 5-star review, but these are all clients. I can prove they purchased, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another good question for you. In an alternate universe where day traders are superheroes, what would your trading superpower be? And what villain would you battle?
It's probably something with speed, because all of my trading is short term. Like I trade for 2 or 3 hours a day, very quick, short, small moves. So I probably like a mixture, again, I'm going to combine characters here, of like the Flash and who's the guy that could shrink? Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got both of those, bro. In and out really quick. You know, I try to just make money. I don't try to hold trades and be right for a long period of time. And I would probably battle somebody who's like, I guess I can just describe them. I don't know what villain it would be, but it would be a guy that's like a trader who's trying to hit huge home runs, call the bottom, nail the top. I am the opposite of that guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm taking advantage of a clear trend in smaller movements more times than he's trying to hit that top or hit that bottom and be wrong.
Right, you're getting more reps.
Yeah.
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 I like it.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun one. I got other ones. We'll sprinkle them in there.
Okay.
So you've moved now to downtown.
Yeah.
We're actually like neighbors.
Yeah.
How's that been for you? What do you think of now that you're like in the downtown scene of St. Pete? What's that like?
It's definitely not bad, but it's definitely not home, especially now with a kid. Too small. And I knew it would be small, but it's what my wife wanted, so we do what she wants. It's just tough because I work from home and I'm filming podcasts and I'm doing coaching calls and I'm trying to trade. And like, I mean, picture what does a dude want to do when he's trading? I want music playing. I want the whole vibe myself. Well, I can't do that because they're sleeping in the room right next door and it's going to wake them up. You know what I mean? So I'm rocking headphones and like, it's just not a really conducive, positive environment for me to be working and thriving and staying in the flow. She'll just come in and talk to me and that doesn't help for sure when I'm trying to do something important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The vibe though of St. Pete is great. I mean, it's so nice being able to walk across the street to a nice restaurant. You're walking, especially with her and the baby, like it's safe. They can walk 4 miles down to the water and back and it's perfectly safe. Like I'm not worried. So I think that's the main thing about it, Walkability for sure. I think like the vibe of the people is kind of interesting because you get very touristy, especially this time of year, like wintertime. I think I noticed for sure. There's like tours going on of people on e-bikes and Segways. I'm like, I don't really want to live somewhere where tours are going on, like that touristy. I don't need to be in the mix like that. So that's why we're going to be moving, but we'll stay local to some extent. But I think Pinellas County in general is kind of the place to be. Even Tampa's good. You know what I mean? I think this whole side of Florida is way underrated compared to like Miami. Jacksonville, nothing's going on. Sorry, Vince. Sorry, everybody in Jacksonville, right? Orlando, I think if you want to be near Disney, other than that, it's 10 degrees warmer there than it is here all the time. So why would you do that? You're going to just melt. So, and Miami, I don't speak Spanish. No habla. You know what I'm saying, bro? So Tampa's the spot. And I think, too, like for my business, I'm going to flex now. This is plugging Gary Cardone, but I was at that Gary Cardone party. He's talking about how it's all these tech people. Kathy Wood's office is here, all these tech people, all this crypto stuff. So it's like, yeah, Miami might become another financial hub, but I think Tampa's like the country club version of Miami. I don't know. That's just how I feel. You know, this area at least.
Because it's not as crowded.
Not as crowded. Not as like, but still hustle, you know? We're not like California.
No.
I don't even think those people work.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
I think that's because there's so many people here moving from the Northeast. So some of that drive is coming down.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't make a good pizza, though, down here. Pizza's still better up there.
Well, yeah. Someone said, and I can't remember the name. We got to go back and see if we can find it. That there's some pizza shop that ships in the water, but I can't remember what it is.
That would be crazy.
If you know what it is, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I would challenge that. I'd like to see the overhead and expenses on that. They must charge $80 a pizza to ship a water truck here from the gasoline on that
looks
alone.
like? Is it a water truck that comes down, or do they put it in barrels?
And is it still good?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know.
I don't even want that. You know what I'm saying?
It has to come straight from the pipes.
But you know what? I think the good thing about this is some of the good, like, you come from Philly, like where we met. Food scene used to be great. You know what I mean? You could get so many different types of food. Here, it's not that easy to find. So you got to find your staples. You know what I mean? So I have my staples in St. Pete that I know are good. But there's not a ton. Maybe I'm wrong. Of like, we just had the Concrete Jungle, subtle plug for them. That just opened up. So some things are popping up, but it's not like a ton of new restaurants all the time. So you got to find your go-tos, I feel like.
There's new spots open up, but they're kind of like the same.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it doesn't feel to me like there's so many.
Well, and that is a difference. And I hate, you know, I have a theme of like kind of poo-pooing on Tampa since we're talking St. Pete. However, I think from a 5-star restaurant perspective, Tampa's where you go.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially just with Water Street, with all the stuff opening up there, 100%.
You want to have a super high-end dinner, I think you got to cross the bridge, unfortunately. I mean, there's spots here, but it's still that low-key. You could show up in flip-flops.
100%. There's going to be a dude in there with Ray-Bans, a long-sleeve fishing shirt, shorts, and flip-flops.
And a backwards hat.
Yep. And tan lines. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. You're not...
As much as St. Pete has its good things, bro, like St. Pete still has this, things that I think it's missing. I think for one thing, it's missing like a place for young professionals like you and me to go for a day and be able to hang out.
Yeah, we talked about this.
This is the fun business idea. If anybody wants to fund us, call me.
Yeah, let's go through this. Well, let's paint the picture. What's it look like?
Well, first you have to start about we were all hanging out and we're thinking, well, what's the fun business you would start? You sold what you're doing, cash out, and now what do you do? And I was thinking like, well, what do you need? That's when you start a business, you got to think about what do people need? Well, right now there's nowhere in St. Pete that if you're 40 or younger, but you don't really want to golf, put that aside.
We can get into that in a minute.
Yeah, but you want to play basketball, lift weights, hit a sauna, maybe get some work done, sit in a library, have a coffee, whatever, that kind of vibe where you can just hang out kind of like a country club, but like a gentleman's club kind of thing, but not a strip club. I'm just saying that like it's like a men's thing, you know what I mean? Where you could meet other successful entrepreneurs without having to like really go out of your way. You just know they're going to be there because that's what this place would be for. That's what we need.
It's like a combination of there's like the little pockets all around St. Pete where people are doing that, but not
all in one spot.
Especially with the health thing,
Yeah,
like
sauna,
like a
cold
mixture
plunge.
of vitality.
Yes. Basketball,
Yeah.
pickleball, maybe some tennis, weights for sure, like a beautiful gym, classes going on, even some yoga, like just where you could hang out and be with your other guy friends.
How big is this place?
Probably like 30,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet. Yeah, it's going to have to be big because you want space. You're going to need a locker room, a bathroom, a bunch of bathrooms, front desk. It's got to be nice. Mm-hmm. But that's what I think St. Pete needs, stuff like that. I think also like if you look in Sarasota, they just opened this new golf thing. Since we've been golfing now more, we can talk about this. Like it's a chip and putt place, but it's really nice. You can hang out for a long time. It's got other stuff going on. They got ping pong tables. It's not like mini golf, but it's not chip and putt. It's like a combo of the two.
Yeah.
But also Top Golf because like they're serving food and stuff. It's a really good idea.
That is a really good idea.
You got no space here, bro.
I think golf, now that we're in it, golf and watching COVID and just more, I think golf, well, here it's just so popular.
Yeah.
And there's this room now, a blend of like the old school way of like golf being so professional, shirt tucked in, no music, to now like the fun, like getting rowdy.
That's what we were saying when we were playing. We should have a golf course that you have to play shirtless and with no shoes. You have to be basically in a bathing suit. Put a slip and slide on the side. You have to slide down to the hole. You know what I'm saying? People would love that, especially St. Pete people.
I think so. I think there's room for that for sure.
But there's not. That's the point. Is that all this fun stuff, you got to go do it in Tampa because there's no more room in Pinellas County, let alone St. Pete.
Unless you convert something that's already here.
You have not even something because the houses are so close together. You'd have to convert a bunch of them. Like there's, just, you know, and then the other areas that have the space, I would say, what some of us may call the hood or headed in the direction of what is still the hood. Like no one wants to go there right now.
Yeah.
No disrespect. It's just not where you would want to build this or where you want to put these things. So we're in this weird spot. Where gentrification, I feel like, is happening through housing, but I don't feel like a lot of gentrification is going on, other than the raise thing. That's going to be the big thing.
Well, that is going to change things because I think that's going to be an echo effect of everything else around it and pushing everything further down
but it's
central.
All housing. Everything that is being built that we see is housing. There's no big promising. Like when Topgolf came to St. Pete, that was a big deal. It really shouldn't be. It's a driving range. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing pulling to St. Pete other than the beach and the walkability of downtown. So we need more. I think
more.
Not more country clubs, not more golf courses.
No, but it also has to stay local. That's the tough part.
Sure.
Because that's what one of the I've talked about 100 times on here. Not 100, no, like 50 some. But is that this the specialness of St. Pete is that most of the businesses are local.
I'm not trying to take that away.
Yeah.
I'm trying to complement to that through. And again, maybe it's not franchises, bro. Like, maybe I'm not saying bring in big conglomerates like that. I don't support that. You know what I mean? I still support local business. I'm a small business. I'm not trying to take that away. But I'm saying, like, activity-wise. Like, if we don't golf and we don't go to the beach and we don't go to the pool, what do you do in Pinellas County? If there's not a fair going on, maybe the Rowdies game at night. But what else are you doing if you don't go to the bars? Nothing. You can't really.
Yeah, that's what I actually asked someone this. Like, what is there to do in St. Pete? There's a lot of places to go eat and drink. That's the vibe, right? A lot of no
activities. Big in New Jersey right now, they just built, where I'm from, they built this big, huge indoor go-kart thing, bro. It looks sick. That seems like a great idea in Florida.
Yeah.
Where is that going to go, bro?
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Over the bridge. Because it's just tough. St. Pete's tight.
It is.
But that's what people love about it, I think. That's why it attracts
everything's so close.
Everything's close.
Yeah.
Even your neighbors, they can see you through your window for the most part.
Yeah, watch your blinds.
Yeah.
Watch your blinds.
Watch your blinds.
Yeah. What's your do less, do it better, do it bigger? I'm always interested. Like you've had that for a while, and I know it. But what's that mean to you? And how has it evolved the meaning since you?
It's probably like a good way to look at everything, not just trading. But it started with trading. Do less meaning like too many people will come into trading and they'll look to trade different strategies. They'll look to find the holy grail indicator. They'll look for some guru that'll help them, give them signals. Do less of all that. Pick one thing that you've seen work for other people, because there's clearly successful traders you can model. So it's not like this is like a new career. It's been going on for a long time. So model success, do less, pick one person that you align with and follow them. That's what I did. Do it better. Get better at that. Don't lose focus. Stay locked in, stay tunnel vision for a long period of time, longer than you think, because you're going to want to quit and you got to not. Again, that can be trading or life. And then do it bigger size, bigger risk. Because normally as you make more money, you get more risk averse.
We talk about that.
Right. But as you have more knowledge, have more experience, would it make more sense to get risk adverse? That's now when you should get riskier because you have more knowledge and more experience. So I think in a lot of areas, that's where you can tie that in. It kind of goes with the 4 agreements too. You know what I mean?
No, it does.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, love that
I
book.
make everybody read that book in the mentorship.
You do?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We make them read a lot of books. Yeah, that's one of them because it's easy.
What's another one?
The Mental Game of Trading, which is this guy, Jared Tendler. He's a golfer. He trains poker players. I've talked to you about him before. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. I mean, it's cool. Like I'm talking to this guy who has coached a guy that won the World Series, like won it, like actually won it. And that guy vouches for Jared's mental work because it's all about, in his mind, he has this like whole map of what success is. And it's all about identifying your A game versus your B game versus your C game and improving the C game to the point where it doesn't happen often, doesn't cost you a lot of money. It keeps you in your A game and you have to be able to identify when you're not on your A game. And that can be defined in a lot of different ways. But it's a really cool framework to look at psychology for trading, for golf, for poker. It's very similar. Yeah.
You know, sitting here and having, and you do a lot of podcasts, but connecting with someone and diving into their consciousness for an extended period of time is so cool just to hear how the mind can work differently in different parts of different people's brains.
Yeah.
And then it comes together and like shapes their life. Like your life isn't a collective of how you think.
Try doing it on Zoom. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
You're doing it the right way. Just my guests are all over the world.
Right.
So it's tough for me.
Yeah, you have to do it that way, you know? And dude, big thank you because this idea, I don't know if we talked about this in our first episode. I didn't watch back the whole thing since then, but Talkin St. Pete started over a cigar. You remember?
I mean, it's a good, because you needed something to put just your general content out. It's not like you could just do all real estate content. Now I feel like this is all you do. I don't even see a lot of real estate content.
I know. We're going to do better in 24.
Well, I mean, it's not even do better. This is good content. This is what I think creates relatability.
This has become
it's how you're known.
It's its own identity.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll sell houses because you're known for this podcast in a way.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And I'm honestly, I've met so many cool people, so many cool conversations, and I've learned so much about St. Pete just from sitting right here.
Right. So
listening.
Now you'll never be able to leave, I guess, because you're now tied.
I'm not leaving.
And you can't leave.
I don't feel right now. What's cool about life is I feel so aligned with where I'm at physically.
Do you like it better being here now than you did when you moved to Florida the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different vibe. Totally.
Oh yeah, you were in the Air Force.
Different vibe. Honestly, the beach up there was incredible. I feel like I went to the beach.
I don't know why.
It's just different. I don't know why.
The Panhandle's different.
Yeah,
it is nice.
The sand's even like squeakier because it's so fine.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, the sand's is nicer. The water's, I mean, the same temperature, but just, I don't know. You know what it was there? More parking. You could honestly just get to the beach easier.
It's a big deal.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it gets crowded here, especially at the beaches.
I know.
Yeah.
And, I know a lot of people moving here from other states, and they think that the beach, it's funny how many people think they're going to be at the beach all the time.
Bro.
When was the last time you were at?
When your dad was here. Maybe if we even went
there. When people come visit.
That's it. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And that's why part of me doesn't mind the idea of eventually leaving Florida, because I know I'll appreciate the beach so much more. But I do not take it for granted. Like when I go to the gym at noon every day and I leave and I'm thinking, when was the last time it rained? I'm driving in January with my shirt off because I'm hot.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
crazy
thing.
to me.
It's a beautiful thing.
That makes it really hard
Even
to
just
leave.
right now. I mean, when this comes out, when is this coming out, Dom? Do we know?
Christmas, January. I wore my Christmas shirt.
I had the list.
She has a list. She has a
Few weeks.
few weeks. So it'll be December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to Harrisburg for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that, let me tell you.
Shout out, fam. We're coming for
Oh my God, bro. Can't wait to see all the dead trees, the dead leaves, the gray sky.
you. I know it will be there.
It's good to leave. It's good to leave Florida in the summer.
Yeah,
It's
we
definitely
always do it in the winter.
It's getting too hot.
Yeah.
It really is. So I could definitely see myself leaving, especially for the summer.
Should we get a mountain house?
I'd be down, but I don't know where. Like, there's just too many nice places. You know, again, I sent you that clip today. We should talk about it. The Grant Cardone thing, where he's saying rich people and millennials, they want to be mobile. They want to rent.
Okay,
so that's why I can't say
wanna
where we going.
talk to you about that.
All right, let's talk about it.
Why do you think Grant puts that message out?
Well, because he has apartments for rent, of course,
Dude,
bro.
of course.
But
Because
that's
you know it's funny. I just saw someone post something the other day. They listed out like 10 different people. And like, if you listen to this person, it says buy short-term
Right.
rentals.
Of
If you
course,
listen to this
of
person,
course.
buy
But
commercial.
that's
Listen to
why
this
you gotta
person, you should rent forever.
You gotta look past. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you ask me when's a good time to get into day trading, what am I going to tell you, bro?
Right now.
Of course.
Yeah, of
you
course.
sell your, like, you
Yeah.
got to eat.
And so if you're Grant Cardone, you have thousands of units. You
Yep.
don't want people. You don't want to promote home ownership.
But I think what his point in that video, and this is why you got to still look past that, he's got people that on their end of year tax statement, they're making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year. They're renting. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of people, yeah, of course.
People, like, as you make more money, I feel the pull to be more mobile. With everything I have going on next year, with James getting married in South Africa and everything, I'm like, man, if I didn't have cats, for sure, I would consider do a month in South Africa, maybe rent a month somewhere over here. I can do that. So why wouldn't I do that? I'd love to do that.
If you're going to have a nomadic lifestyle.
Is it nomadic? That's the debate me and Riley always have. Because I don't see it as being super nomadic if you're there for a month or two.
Well, then we got to define nomadic.
Right. Nomadic is like I'm in a van and I'm in a new city every 2 or 3 days. I don't know. Siri, how do you define it? You know what I mean?
Right.
But no.
I mean, I feel like if you're traveling every month, that's pretty nomadic.
Yeah.
You're not somewhere long enough to establish long-term relationships.
No. I would say, like 2 months, maybe somewhere, 3 months. Like, bro, you could leave me in Italy for a couple of months. Like, I guarantee you I would not complain.
No, you wouldn't complain.
No, definitely not.
No.
So, like, I think I could do it right now. But I understand what he's saying about home unaffordability being high, so it's tough, which then even makes you look at rents more seriously. And then some people right now have the career to be
And
wherever.
I don't think that's going to get better.
No.
So I'm in the boat,
Yeah.
and naturally I'm biased because I sell real estate. Of
course.
But I know that 80% of the millionaires throughout the United States
Have
done it through real estate, the tax advantages
course.
of real estate.
Come on, Donnie T says that, bro.
Yeah. And so if you can afford it now, knowing that it's only going to become more expensive, it's better to get in than wait.
Undoubtable.
Because, I just had a conversation with an older gentleman. I'm going to say he's probably close to 70, security guard. And he looked at me and he was asking me about home prices. And he goes, I'll never be able to afford it.
That sucks.
And it's like probably because he just was in that boat of like, oh, I'm going to wait. 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 Who knows? Don't be that person.
Yeah. 2 comments to that. 1, I agree with Grant when he says if you make less than $250K a year, you should be embarrassed with yourself. Now, he's being dramatic when he says that, but I think the answer for a lot of people's problems is make more money. Number 1.
Well, I say that to you all the time.
Right. What's the solution is always make more money.
Always
It's
more
so
money.
easy to say, but it is very true. Yeah. And I think people need to open their mind to considering the idea.
Do it bigger.
Hey, man, I could go learn how to sell something on Amazon. I could learn how to start my own Etsy shop. Like, people are very close-minded, number 1. Because, again,
I don't think it's closed-minded as much as it is fear.
No.
It's fear keeping the mind closed.
Some people, but I think most people literally think, I couldn't do that.
That's fear.
Yeah, if you look at it from there. But I'm saying, like, they're close by. I couldn't do it. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to do that. Someone's already doing it better, so I'm not going to go. They have no competition, no drive. People are not incentivized in America to become entrepreneurs. We're not, which we should be. We would be a better country if we were. If everybody thought, how do I be productive? Not in America, this is controversial to say, I think, but people chase happiness. They should chase productivity. I agree with that a lot. Humans are not happy unless we're productive, unless we're social, unless we're providing value to ourselves, to other people, and really pushing the greater collective. I don't think you could ever say to any millionaire, billionaire, whatever you want to call them, sitting on a beach by themselves, that they're happy because they're on the beach by themselves. They might be happy because they're donating $50 million a year to some charity that's saving a bunch of lives.
But personal happiness.
Productivity.
Yeah.
You can be happy on the beach, but the beach itself is not going to make you happy. It's your productivity. It's your give to society as a whole. Unless you're an evil villain.
It's actually this. It's your why. It's your purpose. What's yours?
To provide value to as many people as I can, make a big impact. That's my purpose. I want to impact.
Why is that important?
Because I think that's what lasts. Impact can be felt. Legacy can be left much longer. So like, I don't have aspirations of a set financial goal. I have an aspiration of a set impact goal. I want to reach millions and millions of people. That's why I do my podcast and my content. My YouTube channel just crossed 2 million total views. So like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm chugging my way there slowly but surely. And every year I grow bigger, but that's my why is impact. And I think that's what that saying is. It's stop chasing happiness, chase productivity. You chase productivity, you might be thinking about how to make more money. You think about how to make more money, you solve a lot of your problems. I'm not saying the money is going to make you happy, but solving your problems is going to make you happy.
Well, it brings a new set of problems. That's what I said.
It can.
Well, you're always going to have problems.
So that's going to be there.
Yep.
Money makes them definitely easier.
Well, you have a different set.
Yeah.
You want to choose your problems.
But I'd much rather be fighting about spending $50,000 on new furniture than fighting with my wife about how are we going to pay the electric bill. So I think everyone would choose the second problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to my renting point, that was the first point, was you got to make more money. You should be embarrassed of yourself. As a man especially, I'll be firm on that. You got to make a lot of money. If your girl wants to work, good. That's fine. But you as a man should really be, am I providing enough for my legacy, for my family, for the things I want to leave behind? That's what I ask myself all the time. Beyond that, though.
Do you feel that? Sorry.
No, you're good. Something's shaking.
The whole room just started shaking.
Yeah, a little bit. The other thing is the negative impact on the quality of your life while owning a home, the costs of owning that home throughout the process of building that equity. I would argue, and we could debate this would be a whole nother podcast, I would argue you're better off figuring out what you're good at that you can sell and dumping the money into that and renting while you grow that business. I think the average American could do that, and they underestimate how easy that is. They underestimate how easy it is to make $100,000 a year with something they're good at if they have the right framework of business behind it. I think people just think that's not even feasible. It's so feasible. I dropped out of college and I did it. And my business makes more than $100,000 a year.
Right.
So it's like, you have to understand how easy it is to make that 100 and open your mind to say, you know what, instead of going, what some people would tell you to do, save up money, go cash broke, buy into the house, get the down payment, no matter what the interest rates are, right? You buy the house, you date them rate, right? Whatever they say, eat the house, something like that.
Marry the house, date the rate. Yeah.
Whatever. Right? So you look at that scenario. Oh, something happens in Florida, there's a flood, you need a new roof, or there's a tornado. First tornado in Pinellas County. Insurance companies aren't even covering for it, or whatever. There's this fluke thing. Things happen when you own a home. You open yourself up to risk that real estate agents sometimes say, yeah, those are risks, but still get into the home. But that's where I'll argue and say, how about a third option? Invest in yourself. Like, you're not making enough money. And this is what Grant says. And that's why I'm a fan of Grant Cardone. Because he says, invest in yourself. Don't buy into what the banks and the traditional route tells you to do. If you're someone that believes in themselves, you should consider that. That's what I think. And that's why I'm going to keep renting and keep dumping all my extra money into investments and business, and because I think my business will do $5 million a year, $10 million a year. When I hit that, the options of buying homes, much different than for me now. So I already know I'm going there. So again, I'm confident. Go back to what we said. I know it's going to happen for me. So at that point, it's like my trajectory is not the same as what some of these other people's is. And my thought is, if I could do it, so could they. But I think a lot of people are scared. Like you said, fear. They don't want to try.
It's fear-based. And I think that there's many paths to the Buddha.
Many paths. That's why I'm never, no matter what I send you, I'm never like, don't do this, don't do that. There's never a don't. Anyone that speaks in certainties is wrong. But if you bought a house in 2007, you didn't break even until, depending on where you are, 2013, 2014. That sucks.
Depending on the house.
Depending on the house, but that sucks. That was my dad. That sucks. And then you also
so you have a bias.
I have a bias
because of an experience that
and
happened.
he put money into it. He put $200K into it. Inflation eating
Yeah,
against
but what
it.
happened
Oh
with the
my
next
God,
house?
bro.
Now the house that your
Well,
mom
the next
has.
house, right? She's gonna make some money on that one, right?
Yeah,
but he
and-
didn't make it nice. He didn't make it the way. I mean, it is beautiful, but he didn't make it theirs like he did for the other one. He put so much into the other one. Break even. 13, 14 years. So that's tough. Some people, that's tough. You got to buy the right location. And I think you can time the market. Graham Stephan times the market. He saved cash. There were recessionary indicators. He looked around and said, I'm going to try to wait it out. He waited 3 years, longer than he thought, but he bought a $1.1 million house for $400,000. That's insane, bro.
It is.
If I miss that deal, I'm a bad trader. That's my head.
Well, that's so. That's looking at it, there's a difference between having an investor hat on, and then a place to live that's also going to do some other things while you have it, right?
Course.
So if it's like strictly for investment, totally different lens,
Yes.
right?
I'm speaking on single family. Like I'm going to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So but single family.
Yeah.
You're gonna live there. Let's say you factor in costs, but let's say rent for a round number's sake is $4,000 a month.
Okay.
Okay. So over a course of a year, that's $48,000.
Okay.
So $48,000. Are you gonna have $48,000 worth of repairs in that home in a year? Most 99.9% no. Because
Not year one.
Not year one. No. Not even year two.
Unless you need a new roof. That could be
even a new roof at 20 grand.
Depends on the roof.
Okay. So that's 1 year.
Yeah.
So let's say you're doing that for.
Oh, if they get you on the roof and the HVAC in the same year, you're done. You're broke.
Okay, but still, to say that you're going to spend 40 grand in maintenance on your home is that's not the number. That's ridiculously high.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say it's even if it's half that.
Okay.
Okay. So
because you do some paint, you do some new cabinets.
Yeah. So now you're increasing the value of the home. You have tax write-offs on the interest of the mortgage.
That's the main reason.
And even if you're living there, market cycles are typically 5 to 7 years. Most people live there for 5 to 7 years. So even if you bought at the high point, most likely, to your point, 7 years to break even. You're coming back in that. But if you put maintenance into it and you put the money that you were spending from renting, you increase the value of the 100%. Home. And now you're able to take equity and roll it into your next
property.
House.
Right.
And you didn't have to put any cash down.
The write-offs are the best.
The write-offs, the gain of equity.
But I did have to put cash down because when you're a self-employed person, they want 20, 25%.
Yes, you have to put cash down. But if you were to rent for 5 years at that 40, that's $200,000 you'll never see again.
Correct.
So your chances from a risk perspective of seeing that $200,000 back
are higher.
Are extremely 100%. Higher.
I'm going to make 200 grand in a month, bro.
Yeah, okay, but that's one vehicle. Yes. Now I'm talking about starting another lane.
I understand. But you understand my perspective, too, from that. Which is not the average, which is why I know.
But that goes back to lifestyle.
Of course.
But if you're like, this is where I want to be
most
for the
people
next
are
5,
thinking I'm joking.
Years.
That's the thing, is they think, you know what I mean? I think most people would laugh at that when you tell them you want to make that much money in a month.
But not here.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, it's just a different perspective. And when you think about the guys that do 100, 200, 300K in a month, I think about Gary's house again, $8 million house. Those people that buy those big houses, like you've told me, they don't do mortgages. It's cash, bro.
Yeah,
it's big cash. They're making enough cash they can save it aside for a couple of months and make the purchase in whole. And like,
but that wasn't their first home purchase.
No, of course not. For most of it.
So that's what you have to.
You're in the best position, bro. Because you can duplex it, triplex it, fix it up. You got no kid, no girl. Shout out, no girl, ladies. Come on, new year. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you're in the best position. I can't do that. I tell my brother he should do the same thing, especially because he's how many years younger than us.
Right.
The young guys, if you got to buy something because you think you want to get into real estate, house hack it. No way should you buy a single family home as a single dude. You don't need it.
Unless you got 3, 4 other bedrooms and you can rent them out.
Unless you have friends
that will going on in here?
Yeah, I don't know. Unless you have friends that will rent them out, for sure. Agreed. Why did you not keep your house in Destin? Because you bought that house.
that was a moment of, you want to know why?
Yeah.
That's when I first got introduced to Grant Cardone.
Oh God, full circle. That's why you hate Grant.
Full circle, bro. Because I should not have sold that house. I'm gonna be straight up. And now being in the business as an agent, I call my agent at the time sold me a house. It was a year later.
Yeah.
I knew the market had gone up. I'd done a little bit of work to the house.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, should I rent this out or sell it? And we looked at the numbers. I was maybe going to profit like $150, $200. Maybe.
Oh, maybe, bro. You're not making money when you rent a single family.
At that time,
You
I
were
was
like, this is
starting a
nothing.
business.
Yeah.
I was like, nah,
Give me that
that's
cash.
risky.
See, but you made the good call. Invest in yourself. That
However,
business propelled you, bro.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It definitely did. So looking back, it's that. However, who knows if I would have figured
Without Grant, he would have never done that.
I don't know. And so sold it, and what 1 year? What did I make? I'd be like $12,000 off the house. But so it cost me. To me, I lived there for free for a year.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. But that house was 7 minutes from the beach in a short-term rental area, and I could.
Yep.
Airbnb wasn't quite a thing yet. And
but I don't think you can blame Grant for saying that, because even Grant says he bought a single family home first and he held it for a long time.
I didn't lose money.
No, you didn't lose money. I'm not saying you
Yeah,
did, but I'm
yeah.
saying Grant doesn't advocate for selling the real estate ever.
Yeah.
Like he never says sell. No
he
matter what
shouldn't
you
have.
buy, you
And
never
that
sell.
house now is worth
4 times.
no, a little over double.
Still.
Yeah, and that was what 2016.
Not that long ago. It's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's
lesson learned though.
the thing with real estate. If you are going to buy, you should never sell. But people will.
Unless you're going to move into a bigger property.
I think about it like
There's a dinosaur outside.
I know someone's shaking, bro.
For those that don't know, like this is just a funny moment. This whole room,
It's shaking.
Earthquake.
like what is going on?
They're tearing down the building next door.
Oh,
Tearing
tearing
down the building next door.
So
Jesus Christ.
Like actual like bulldozers.
there it is.
Feels like it.
It feels like it. I think that the average person that is not working for themselves is probably better off cutting their expenses, slimming down the fat, buying a single family house, and trying to build wealth that way. I totally back that. But if you're an entrepreneur, I think you should consider all options, like what Ryan just did. Sell something that's maybe a little bit dead weight, take on some heavy weight to start a new business. You started your Amazon business. Propel yourself forward to then having a successful Amazon business that was crushing it, that then catapults the move to Florida and starting into real estate, right? So it's like, without selling that house, we probably aren't here, bro.
Yeah, no, of course we can. We can take it all back.
So I think you have to just assess your personal situation, and I think not everybody's meant to just buy, and some people are meant to buy.
Well, that goes into a whole thing. We wouldn't be here with any of the past things.
No,
that we
for
last
sure.
did.
But my point is just like, you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah, of course.
And I think some people need to do what you did, what I did. Hey, could we sell that boat for $60K? Take the 60, put 20 into Facebook ads, and start to sell that shit that you've been making from home, whatever that you make for all the family for Christmas every year, and see if we can make some money. That thing could make you $45K a year. 3 years deep, you break $100,000. You buy yourself another boat, finance it with the business, or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's short-term sacrifice for long-term gain.
Yeah, humans don't like
You know
short-term
what's funny
sacrifice.
about that sentence?
Yeah.
Is I've been saying that since the moment I can remember specifically. Back to that house. It all does tie back to that. I remember, and I was like young, early 20s. I got this beautiful house, 7 minutes from the beach, 2.5 car garage. Back in my Buick into that garage. Drove a Buick because it had good lumbar support.
Right.
And I remember thinking like, dang, I'm giving this all up
Yeah.
to go start that business.
Yep.
And I remember short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. I'm still saying that today.
Well, I think it's something you'd say for even like, again, we're talking about Grant Cardone. He says even now he goes broke in his mind. Like he deploys money more now than he ever has. He's got so much money to deploy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that hustle, that grind, that willingness to delay the return on investment, the return on time.
You live in that space, bro. Let's talk about how much content that you consume in news in a day, because that's you watching the markets and everything going on in the world. Like your brain is insane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to filter it out. You know what I mean? I have to know about interest rates. I have to understand what's going on with the economy. I don't have to know every little detail about the Israel and Hamas war, but I will follow and understand the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of news, but Twitter is the best way to figure out what to follow. Twitter is very unbiased. I don't watch the news. I don't watch CNN. I don't follow CNN. I don't follow MSNBC. You have to just be able to find real journalists that are putting out real stats that are really going to be able to say, hey, this is what's happening. Take it or leave it. The Fed looks to plan to cut rates based on these probabilities over the next 12 to 24 months, and here's what that looks like. That's a fact. I don't need CNN's take. You know what I'm saying? So when you're just looking at fact, I think that's why it makes it look like I'm consuming a lot and I'm able to retain a lot, because all it is facts, no fluff.
Right.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? Oh, like, for example, there was a story in LA. A Palestinian protester pushed an old Israeli man and he died. She pushed him on the ground and he cracked his head open and he died. All the mainstream media ran the headline as man falls at rally in altercation. No, he was shoved. He was murdered. She's being investigated for manslaughter for pushing him down. But the mainstream media will tell you a fluffy narrative.
Right.
I just need the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you care about.
First Jewish protester dies on American soil. That's the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, you consume a lot.
Yeah.
You're always in the know.
Mainly economy.
Yeah.
Stats. I just like stats. We exploit stats in trading. That's really what it is. If I told you that 4 out of 5, or how about this, 80% of the time, the FTSE 100, which is the UK stock index, will make its high or low on a Monday or a Friday. That stat alone will not give you an edge in the market, but that can open up a huge can of worms of if-then scenarios that you can then play on and make money.
Yeah. So if you were an indicator, which one would you be?
Oh, I love the anchored VWAP right now. Average volume weighted price. Big on this.
What's that mean? So dumb it down. 5th grade level.
So just look at it first from volume weighted average price, VWAP. Not that Cardi B WAP, just VWAP. Okay. The VWAP is where institutions and hedge funds will place their orders. For example, Ken Griffin, who runs Citadel, will tell his traders they facilitate about 30 to 40% of all retail trading through all different types of subsidiaries and all different type of brokerages. So Citadel's a big house. He'll place his orders for their funds and he'll say, I want you to get us 100,000 shares of Apple. I'm just picking random numbers at anchored VWAP from the start of the year or better within one standard deviation. So I'm losing people, but I'll explain it. That's anchoring a VWAP. So the average volume weighted price from the start of the year. What is that price? I want you to get me in within a certain distance from that price, keeping me close to the average volume weighted price that the investors have paid this year. What that would mean is if we're above that price, the average person that bought is making money. If we're below that, the average price that someone since that time period, start of year, they're losing money. Sellers are taking control, buyers are taking control. It's very reactionary. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're not waiting for a crossover or none of that. Is price above it or below it? It gets very complicated because you can anchor a VWAP to many different points, right? Start of day, start of week, start of month, start of the quarter, or an earnings report, many, many different things. But that's where big institutions are placing their orders. Warren Buffett will get guaranteed VWAP. He'll see Southwest Airlines is trading it. He did this at like $30-something. He'll start to tell his prime broker, I want to get out of my shares. I have 2.8 million shares. They'll guarantee his VWAP at $30, even though over the next 2 weeks, as they offload the parent order in small child orders, smaller orders, because you can't just dump all those shares at once. It'll mess up the market. He'll get that VWAP price even as price falls away from it for the next 2 weeks. It's called guaranteed VWAP. But when you're Warren Buffett, that's what you can get. It's crazy.
So for those of all the people that you lost, but they're interested in trading, this is why your education is so important.
Yeah, I like it. It's crazy.
No, but this is a good tee. Like I'm teeing you up right now.
Yeah.
You just showed your depth of knowledge. Like I'm
still learning.
Well, yeah, of course. But
I read books all the time. Like I've just read Brian. I give Brian Shannon a lot of credit. He's the godfather of the anchored VWAP. He came on my podcast. I fell in love with what he was talking about. He's been making YouTube videos for 15 years. I'm like, I should trust this guy. A lot of experience here. Makes a lot of money trading. So definitely big up his book. But like I'm coaching other traders as I'm reading his book. I'm sharing those concepts with him. So I'm just able to retain
in your
and
space
regurgitate.
now. Who's the top 3 people you look up to?
He would be one because I just respect his career. I would say I'm going to do a podcast with Tim Sykes in the new year, hopefully in January. I would respect him. I would look up to him because he's just one of the OGs in content creation, course making, in trading education. He's like the GOAT. The OG, I should say, not the GOAT. Third person, it'd be tough. I like Brett Steenbarger. He's a psychologist. Just very interesting to hear a psychologist's take on why traders are so impulsive and so crazy to the way that we are. I would even say Anthony Crudelli. He's a famous options trader. He traded like back in the day when you would trade on the floor and hand signals and like buy, sell, but like crazy stuff. So he has some really cool stories. So there's like these guys, bro, that like don't get a lot of views. Like some of my those 2 podcasts I mentioned, not a lot of views,
right?
Because those guys don't do the flashy stuff, right? You don't see his Lambo. You don't see him in the private jet, but he's taking a private jet. He's just not telling you about it.
Right. He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
If you could go back to any time period, where would you go?
I think you asked me this last time.
Did I?
I think so.
Well,
I've heard you ask this before, I think.
I don't know.
I'd go back and I'd be standing in Dallas and I would watch to make sure that I saw that JFK wasn't shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. And I'd be standing there eating popcorn. And then once it's over and I'm confirmed that it was somebody else, you could take me back.
So you really want to know?
I'm pretty sure I know because we got his nephew out here saying what happened.
Yeah.
I just want to see it to confirm it. Because then, I mean, that's to me, that moment in history is where America turned.
It was a big moment.
Big moment. CIA really showed its hand. If RFK is telling the truth and they really were behind it, really showed their hand. And we saw this glimpse into the darkness of the shadow government of people that are influencing what we see, you know? So
That's
an important moment. I think more than people realize. JFK was like the real old school Democrat that really cared about trying to help the betterment of the people and the country and understood good sacrifices versus bad sacrifices. If you listen to his old speeches, he's the best, bro. He really is. I think that there's a lot of other politicians today that could take reference. You know, I think Vivek sounds a lot like him. Yeah, when I listen to them both talk. So I don't just listen to the economy. I listen to politics too.
Right.
Because it's important.
Well, it drives the economy.
Yeah, but politics is a joke now. I mean, you really see today more than ever. They got the politicians that can trade stocks and no one cares, right? So they get privy information. They get information before all of us and they can trade on it and it doesn't matter. They're allowed to do that, actually, almost encouraged. And we know that lobbyists are paying them to push laws in the way that they want it to go. So the politicians are literally, it's right wing to say or whatever, but they are puppets. There's much more going on than behind the scenes. And
Oh yeah, with those who got the deep pockets.
That's all. Money rules
But then
everything.
I want to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
If I run an industry
Yep.
that government has regulation over,
Yep.
and I'm at a fine dinner,
Yep.
am I not making some kind of
100%.
relationship? Taking you out on my fancy
I'll
golf
give you this
course, out on my jet, we're hanging out, we're out on the boat.
We'll come back to this. So I don't think Joe Biden and Kamala are going to win again. I think what they're going to say, I heard this today, Kamala, and I agree with this. They're going to go to her. They're going to get Joe to step aside for health. I really think he's just, I mean, the other day with the turkey trot thing, did you see this?
I didn't see it.
He ran back like everyone on the internet was saying he pooped his pants. He's like supposed to stay out there and pardon a turkey, what they do every year. And he just like turned around and ran inside.
Oh no.
Yeah. So people are saying that what they'll do to like what do you want? That's all the question is. They have to figure out what does Kamala want. Oh, Kamala wants a seat on the Supreme Court at some point in the future. We'll guarantee that you get that seat. You're just going to step aside right now. That's the kind of conversations that happen in the Democratic and Republican Party on both sides. What do you want? How do I get you there?
It is all about what can I do for you?
Sold.
Yeah.
Sell out. You just sold out.
Yep.
People don't realize, bro. That's you selling your soul. Like you're compromised. You're not doing the public service anymore. You're doing your self-service. And that's why the system is so broken. And that's why people will be like, yeah, I know it's puppets controlling it. I know the politicians don't make any influence. But what do you want me to do about it?
It's the deep pockets behind.
It's the deep pockets.
a whole thing.
So what do you do about it? Do you run for office or do you just get rich?
I don't want to do that.
You get rich, bro. That's the answer.
I don't want to do that.
You know why? Grant Cardone again. Grant sitting down at a dinner. Gavin Newsom comes up to him and goes, bro, I can't get away from you on Instagram. Grant Cardone's a drug addict. Doesn't have a college degree. Was a drug addict. And the guy that's probably going to run for president, either in this election or the next one, comes over and says, I can't get away from you. So
Well, yeah, social media. I mean, we're doing it right now.
you get rich, you get popular. You can make an influence more than a politician. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because this has opened up in this podcast of like conversation about local politics here within St. Pete. And I'm not that tapped in, and I'm cautious to be.
Don't change the airport. I know I said I'm leaving St. Pete at some point. If you take the airport away, that's like taking a really important piece, I think, of what makes St. Pete unique away. And they want to change it. I commented on one of the St. Pete Catalysts posts or whatever. People ripped me up
But why?
because I said I don't want the airport to be condos.
Oh, yeah, the downtown airport.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, don't take it.
People want to take it and
Cannot.
turn it into
I'm
condos.
going to get flight license there. It's going to be great.
No, you're not.
I am.
They're going to make it low-income housing or something, bro.
No.
No.
No, there's something special about having the planes
That's
fly
what I'm
around.
saying, bro. You
Yeah,
can't take
those little
that's
single
culture, bro.
engine
This is
Cessnas.
But this is culture.
Yeah.
Right now, in my opinion, traditional conservative style people value culture more than the more woke liberal people. They don't value culture anymore. Whatever culture you want to be is accepted. No, the old culture, that airport has been here longer than most people. Respect that. Nah, they don't.
Man, that would I have heard that from multiple people, and I think that would be
That would suck, bro.
Yeah,
You're gonna put
because-
up all these tall apartment buildings,
Then you
tall
can't
condos.
see. Can't see the water.
Can't like you're turning this into what?
Do we need to sign a petition?
I mean, it's probably already started at some point because it's
gotta-
already been discussed. This
we
has
gotta
already been in
find it.
town hall meetings.
I stay out of politics, but I will support that one. We got to keep the airport.
I mean, I don't know why you do stay out of politics. You should be involved in it heavily in St. Pete because there's a guy that's running as mayor right now who some people would say the guy that was before him, who was a Democrat, did a better job. You have two Democrats that are not competing at the same level. So you don't even have to pick a side.
Right.
You can just play what's happening and say, who's better for the job? Who's done more?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, recently because I'm so head down focused, and like we talked about tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I'm tunnel vision.
Right. So it's tough to get into
yeah,
that.
it's tough
a whole thing.
because it's noise.
And scratching backs. It's a whole thing, bro.
Yeah. it
Not
is.
my game.
No.
Like, think about who would be a great president. If I asked you, who would you want to be president of the United States? Who comes to mind first?
Whoa. I don't like my answers.
Come on, who?
Just because of innovation, but not because of his beliefs. I don't even know if he'd be
Elon?
good. Yeah,
Well, he can't.
I know because
Right.
of South Africa.
Who else?
Um.
Mark Cuban. That's my vote.
Oh, I do like that.
I'd
one.
write in Mark Cuban.
I do like that one.
He won't do it. He's
No.
too smart.
No.
That dude knows how to make money. He's productive. Everything we talked about on the podcast today. Innovative, curious, open-minded to criticism. Everything that you would want from a leader to put people in the right position to succeed because he knows he doesn't know everything. That guy has it. Whereas all we have is people that think they know everything and they just want to put yes men around them. It's a joke. It's not actually for the betterment of America.
Right.
It's not. It's for the betterment of themselves, their brand, their stocks, and all that, their bottom line. How many more beach houses does Nancy Pelosi need? That's who it's better for. That's all they care about. So that's why you need somebody like him.
And then we can take a moment of gratitude and know that we still live in a great country.
Yeah, it's still the best country in the world. Can't argue that. Not arguable. Because, look at what's happening with some of the migrant invasions in Italy and all these other countries in Spain. They got people running over the border. You've got the war with Ukraine. You've got all this stuff going on in Europe for the first time in 70 years. It's not a good place to be. America is very lucky to be where we are. Just the water separating us is a great thing.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For
And having
sure.
peaceful neighbors for the most part on the north and south.
Yeah.
I mean, the southern border is a mess.
What was I just watching? Oh, it was interesting. There's these YouTubers, Kara and Nate. If you don't watch them and you're still with us listening, you should check them out. They're pretty cool. But they just did this bike trip from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Those videos were so boring, bro.
They were boring, but what I liked to see is how when they were going through the center part of America,
It was flat.
Missouri, Kansas, all that stuff. Yeah, but that's like we are strong as a country because so much of what we provide to everyone comes from the middle
Yep.
and is pushed out.
Yep.
Like all the
And
industrial.
the people in the middle of the country
food-
get shit on.
Yeah,
really do.
But these small towns, all these local
And they're
farmers,
super nice people.
incredibly
Crime very
humble.
low in a lot of those
I
places.
mean, they
Very
one
safe.
town they drove through, I think they saw one person.
I mean, cities just seem to me like it's great for capitalism. It's great for innovation and making money and furthering society, but it also doesn't seem to be the right way for people to live. Because when you're in a city, especially where the direction St. Pete is going, you'll get enough people here where you'll start to not say hi to people as much when you're walking. Because
Yeah.
you see so many, so you don't
I
value
don't
them.
know. So that's where the thing is. I think because this place attracts like-minded people, which is this local friendly vibe, flip flops at your finest restaurant. Who
sure.
cares? And the communities are so tight knit that I don't think we will lose that for a long time.
They said that about every city.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, New York, everybody used to be friendly. It's just a matter of time.
Well, right, but and how much time?
Yeah, when it gets too big. That's
Yeah,
it.
and I think we still have some time for that. I know it's because of the networks that I run in now and everything, which I'm incredibly grateful. And it's crazy how fast things are happening. It's really hard to go downtown and not see somebody you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying as like put aside the fact that you know them. Strangers saying hello to strangers happens less when you're in a big city because you see so many people. What are you going to do? Say hi to all of them?
Right.
No. But when you're in a small town and you have the same routine, you see the same couple of people, maybe you see a new person. Oh, hey, how's it going? You need any help? You lost? That kind of vibe. Not necessarily that small, but I think that's what we need a revival of. An American revival, bro.
Well, I don't think
from the center to the cities, because there's no like cities in the center of the country other than like Texas, Austin, and a couple like that. Most of what I'm talking about is the cities on the coastline, from the north to the south. It's the big cities. So I think we need that American spirit.
What's
back.
St. Pete look like from your perspective in 2, 3, 5 years from now?
It's going to be like everybody says, like Austin. You'll have a very liberal city, a stronghold, if you will, in a red state. Because Florida as a state does not look to me like it's going to flip to blue. If you look at the people and how they voted in the last congressional election and what it looks like it's going to be for the 2024, it doesn't look like Florida's going to flip.
I don't see that.
So it's going to be an Austin, where you drive 30 minutes away, you'll find much more traditional people, traditional ideas being accepted. Whereas here, you'll have a bubble. That would be the nice way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just throw out an idea, like to my point about an American revival. You go to some places now, you see certain flags where they would poo-poo you for having an American flag. And that bothers me because my family came here on a boat. America, to me, is what my family saw as the dream and the hope of what could be prosperity and a great future, safe for their family and their kids. As someone with a kid, you think about these things. You value these things. So when you think about when acceptance becomes something that you have to like shove down someone's throat, how accepting are you actually being? And how respectful are you being of the culture that gives you the freedom to be that expressive, to be that way that you choose to be? So I think we need a revival of the ideas of true freedom, not indoctrination, not like shoving it into someone's face and saying you have to be this way, or we need the true freedom where it was like what's in the Constitution. But when you say those things, when you say this idea of like a town with all American flags and nothing else, just proud of being an American, people would say that's a right-wing stronghold or whatever, a conservative stronghold. No, it's a traditional. Conservative and traditional can be intermingled, but I think they should be separated. And I think people should strive for being traditional. I have a very traditional life. I work, my wife stays home with the kid. We have I guess what would be the right way to say it? A man and a woman in a relationship with just traditional roles. The house is clean. I always make the joke that Bradley joke, if I throw something on the floor, it magically gets picked up. You know what I'm saying? That's very traditional. People would be like, I can't believe you just said that. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
But I think that's what we should, in a way, strive for more of, because those traditional values keep people together and keep us pushing towards that like productive, I think, society that we want. Right now, I think it's become very much not traditional is the nicest way to say it. And I don't think that's a good trajectory. At least if you look at like Rome and everything, when they became less traditional.
Yeah. What's the United States look like 1,000 years from now? Who?
Bro, you can't even imagine. Look at like even today. The guy that runs ChatGPT. Love ChatGPT.
We love ChatGPT, don't we?
He got fired over the weekend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because his sister says that she was raped by him when they were like 4.
Oh, goodness.
Then they brought him back before the weekend was even over. They asked Sam to come back.
Oof.
Very bad look. They have 700 employees. That's it. If you look at the potential of how much that company, OpenAI, which is really owned by Microsoft now, with OpenAI and their 700 employees, what ChatGPT alone could generate in GDP, if that gets sold just into Microsoft and absorbed into Microsoft completely, now because of one thing that happened this past weekend, Microsoft becomes the first $10 trillion company or $30 trillion company in the next couple of years. So when you talk about the future of America, these things happen over the weekend that can completely change the landscape.
Now with the speed of information.
It's unbelievable. So you have no idea. Don't even try to predict it. That's why I'm telling everybody, stop making 5-year plans. Stop. Focus on 6 months. To my point about like figure out how to make more money. Just take it 6 months to max a year. That's it. I think you underestimate what you'll do in a year.
Well, so Gary Keller says the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. He says people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5.
Totally disagree with that. If you set the right goals, most people think, this year I might be able to get X, Y, and Z done. If you set the right smaller goals, you'll 10X that.
Yeah,
you just need better goals.
I'm not saying that if you think big, you're not going to get a lot done.
No, I'll
in a
make
year.
the stance for the clickbait for the podcast.
Yeah.
I think I do disagree with Gary there, 100%. Gary Keller's wrong because if you set the right goals, you can absolutely outperform what you think you would do in a year. Ask me, Austin, how much money are you going to make next year? The only reason I don't make 10x that is my goals aren't properly written down on a smaller scale to get me to a bigger number.
Some things do take time, though.
Of course.
There is a time factor
but
in
I think
success.
most things can be done in a year. Look at what you did in real estate in a year.
Yes, no, I don't disagree with you. However, I think in that statement, just to ground it a little bit, is in your mind when you're thinking big, however big you think you're going to be in 5 years, you could be bigger.
See, I'm saying throw that out. Don't even think about 5 years.
But what
Have
I'm
a
saying,
direction.
but that's the direction.
That's it. Nothing else. No specific goals. No number. Inflation's going to eat up your number. Did you know inflation? Did you know they were going to print all that money because of COVID and then screw up inflation? No. So what if you accounted for that?
To my point, you're feeding into the point.
Why?
Because I'm saying whatever you think is possible in 5 years, make it bigger. Because if you said, okay, I'm not going to make a goal.
Okay.
Because
If you say make it bigger, fine.
right, because saying you're
it's still gonna be too small in my argument.
you're underestimating what you could do in
Still
5.
too small.
Well, that's make it bigger.
It's still too small. That's what I'm saying. It's just too hard to. The point of my
And to
side is-
predict
Yes.
what's going to
Yes.
come with technology.
Exactly.
And I get
Exactly.
your point, but in terms of visualization,
Sure. Think bigger.
right? Because we know everything in life is an afterthought.
But also, all right, if we're going to pick at Gary's point here, if you think too big, you're going to intimidate someone. They're not going to act. So I don't even like the idea of 5
well,
years.
that's where we're breaking it down. So he'll say
That's what
you
I'm
have you go 5 years. So what do you need to do in 1, 2, right? And then break it down by month.
Sure.
Then break it down by week.
Sure.
Then break it
That's
down by
what I'm
day.
saying. Better goals, you'll have bigger outcome.
Right.
Most
but
important.
to break it down, to go backwards, you have to start really big. And if you don't think that you're going to be somewhere far in 5 years, you know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Yeah,
wherever
I
you
hear
think you're going
that.
to be in 5 years, double it, triple it.
Still too small.
Well,
If you asked me 5 years ago if I would make as much money as I made this year, I'd still be a 10x off.
to my point, you're not thinking big enough.
But you just said double, triple. I'm saying most people will be wrong in that.
And most
prediction.
successful people say that they weren't never thinking big enough.
Well, of course they're going to say that in hindsight, and I just said the same thing.
You just exactly.
Yeah, where everyone's going to say that.
So to the point of you overestimate what you can do in 1,
Just
underestimate
because
what
they
you
all
can do
say
in
it
5.
doesn't make it right, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I just think most people set shitty goals, bro. That's my point.
My point is
They
set
don't
bigger
like,
goals.
Set bigger goals, but
Yeah.
set
We're saying the same thing.
Set smaller, realistic, incremental goals that make sense. And anything that you say, oh, good things take time. Nah, good things take money and energy. It doesn't take time. You can make most things
You
happen.
can have shitty ideas too.
Sure, but you can have most things. Okay, what takes time? Editing this video. Well, if you paid for more video editors, you get it done faster. That's my point. So time isn't actually something that you should let control you.
Yeah.
You can control time.
Well, time
Get a
is-
loan. Take the loan. Start your business. Use the loan to fast track the success. Pat's doing that with his Chuka sales, right?
Yeah.
Throwing it into Facebook ads, you see an instant return.
Shout out Chuga.
Yeah. So it's like, no, good things don't take time. They take money and energy, commitment, discipline, determination.
It depends on your industry.
It takes how long to sell a house?
That's a whole nother 2 weeks.
I would say that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Tell me a good thing that takes time. I know it ain't like, come on, bro, making a baby, that don't take too much time, let's be honest.
Hey. However long it takes, buddy. However long it takes.
I mean, what's more better than making a baby?
Right.
That's like you're creating
that
life.
takes time.
That doesn't take time.
9 months.
Sure. But
Takes
really, didn't take 9 months because it's a baby. It's just in the stomach.
Well, it's got to grow.
I mean, once that thing hits the egg, bro, we got a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, this didn't take...
Yes.
Most good things, I think, could be sped up. And that's why we should think
Okay,
bigger.
here's the thing that takes time.
All right, good.
Your golf swing.
I should slow that down. How do I reverse time on my golf swing, bro? Fuck.
So, yeah, we gotten into golf recently.
Yeah.
Which St. Pete's a great place to be in to golf.
I mean, I guess you can't get a tee time at Mangrove before 11 o'clock unless you know somebody.
Well, we got to know somebody.
Clearly, we don't know somebody.
I think I can get us in.
I think it's a great place. I'm best friends with the lady that runs Cypress. We should have her on the podcast.
We should.
Theo Vaughn, not to compare the lady that runs Cypress to this, but Theo Vaughn had a Garbage Man on his podcast and it did 4 million views in a week, bro.
Really?
Garbage Man from New York City.
But he's also hilarious.
Yeah, he just asked the most random questions, bro.
Yeah.
So what's something you found in there? Tell me some crazy thing you found once. Just go with that.
It's his whole demeanor. It's all that.
Yeah.
No, but golf, man. Golf has been wild. I can't tell if I'm just getting older or if I'm just really starting to appreciate what golf is.
You almost broke clubs last weekend.
Dude, it's so frustrating.
Over your head.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's so frustrating. But man, when you get a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what's not frustrating, taking your money.
Yeah.
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 I love that.
I know you do. I know you do.
I'm only learning golf to take my friend's money. And I'm going to hustle the shit out of everybody. I'm going to be like, yeah, I haven't played in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, I'm in the sim like every day. You know what I'm saying? Hustling, getting that arm straight, getting that follow through, wrist roll over, all right. You know what I'm saying? On the toe at the end. I got it good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking everybody's money.
Florida's a great place. Everyone's down here golfing right now. Making a lot of
I don't
friends.
like that.
Well, hey, people like good things.
I don't like it when they come to my town and drop second balls on the fairway. No, bro, you get one shot on the fairway, and if I see it again, I'm calling the clubhouse.
He will call the clubhouse.
I will call the clubhouse. I paid to be here. Don't mess with my day. You're slowing me down. I got a kid to go hang out with. You're taking my time because they're out here having a couple of Bud Lights, getting frisky on the second shot off the fairway, bro. Slowing it down, you know?
It's true. It's true. It's opened up a whole nother world to St. Pete that I didn't know existed.
Do you think you'll ever sell houses in Tampa when St. Pete's just like...
I already sold a house. I just put a house on the market in Tampa.
So what are you going to call the podcast when you sell a house? When you start selling more houses in Tampa?
Well, we'll always be talking St. Pete. I don't think can't say never, but I don't foresee me living in Tampa.
No.
So at the moment, talking St. Pete. We have big plans for talking St. Pete next year.
Yeah.
And it being more than just a podcast. Yeah. More of a news channel outlet type of place that we go.
Who's the first person you have to hire to make that happen? Because you and Dom ain't got the time for that. Let's be honest.
We got to get another AI going.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You need some type of chat GBT 5.0 or something.
Yeah. We'll get it going. I think now our baseline, like we got this system pretty ironed out.
Yeah.
It took a little bit, you know, but here we are now, whatever. What episode is this? Should be 50. There's going to be 2 more after you.
Keep hustling.
Yeah. But it's crazy to think when we were sitting here on episode 1, we had no followers.
Nope.
I had no idea what the guest lineup was going to be.
Now here we
are.
are.
You were gracious enough to give me your time.
Yeah, that one was bad, bro. It wasn't him who was running the audio. The video was terrible. You screwed me on that. That's why I'm 5th place on that video. This one should be good. He'll be crispy on this one.
Yeah, Martin's got us. You know, the team's been doing awesome.
But that's what's something you should think about. Who are you hiring in 2024? That's what I'm thinking about. Who am I firing in 2024?
Yeah. Well, we're not firing anybody.
Well, I mean,
we're still growing.
No, that's okay. But sometimes you got to fire to slim some
Unless
fat.
we get like a
beef it up.
bad VA or something, that might be a move.
No, but seriously.
You know what? I never do this.
Yeah.
At this point, we should make a little clip. Who do you know that we need to help move here? Or are you thinking you need to leave St. Pete?
Yeah.
I never do.
You got to promote yourself. You got to sell, bro.
You got to sell.
A, B.
Yeah.
Always be.
Always be providing value.
ABC,
bro. Always be closing.
I was like, ABC, always be selling.
That's some Wolf of Wall Street stuff right
Is that right there?
Yeah.
Sell me this pen.
Yeah.
No, but you do got to sell. I mean, bro, you look at my podcast now. I'm selling you in my videos. I'm the king of selling. You should see me in the studio when I'm filming the content with events. I don't even need a script, bro. Just tell me the hook. What's going to be the title?
What the hook going to be?
Why you will suck at day trading forever. I'll subtle plug you twice in that. You won't even know. You'll hear about ASFX.TV in the Black Shirt Club and be like, I think I got to look up this thing, ASFX.TV. I spin you in a daze because I'm just so good with the flow. So you got to insert it more throughout the pod, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I'm so about the guests.
No,
I think that's why it's been a thing, you know, because
it's definitely easier in one-off content than in a conversation.
For sure, because sometimes that's like a left turn. It was just a left turn.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I think people know you still have to eat.
Still got to eat.
Podcast doesn't pay for itself.
No, we've dumped a lot of money into this thing.
Yeah.
And, we're getting social attention.
But now it's going to grow. Like, look at my show now. Was also,
well, plug our first sponsor, Moore's Resource Insurance, shout out to them. Great local company.
Yeah. But the podcast will grow. Now I'm attracting bigger sponsors. Now they'll fund for me to go travel to Miami to shoot podcasts with bigger people.
Yep.
So then it pays.
No, dude, it's so cool. So those like little backstory. If you can go watch episode 1 and talk about it. I knew Austin when he used a red Solo cup as his toothbrush holder.
Proud of it.
Used a folding desk as his main desk.
Proud of it.
And you lived in like 600 square feet.
It was 5 something and proud of it.
I was giving you some props.
That's the hustle, bro. I want people to know that.
I know, but that's what I mean.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you always had the vision to the point of vision. And even when I met you then, if I would have said that you'd be here now, not big enough, right? And it's cool. You've been someone that's been cool to watch because you've been dedicated to the craft and consistent and just keep plugging away.
And I think that's why I feel like I have the right to say that to people.
Yeah.
If I bounce from career to career, if I couldn't stick with a certain thing,
I
would not talk about.
And I am also going to give my sister props because
for sure,
she definitely
gets credit.
She gets a big credit for there's something special. Shout out, ladies out there, that when the right woman comes into the right man's life, my whole line there is 1 + 1 = 3.
Well, she does the things I suck at.
Yeah,
and I do the things that she sucks at.
Right.
Like, I don't expect her to go on Instagram and sell and make YouTube videos and sell. I do that.
No.
But I don't expect me to keep track of QuickBooks, bro.
No, she's the back-end queen.
I make money, bro, and spend it. I don't track it.
Right.
Ever. Never been my thing. So she handles that. She handles a lot of like our back end, our email stuff, which I'm good at sales. Talk to me about what the email needs to say. Getting the email to look pretty. Come on, bro. I got other things to do. You know what I mean? I got people to coach. I got trading stuff to do. Like I have my mind goes to other things. So you need that compliment. Like and she compliments me well, and that's why now she doesn't really work that often. She has to work like 2 days a month, do payroll and do a couple other things. But she worked for that. It's not like we're given
No. You guys were grinding. You guys were grinding.
Yeah, from when I was working in New York to then. But I think, like I said, people underestimate what 5 years can get you, in the sense, to agree with Gary, that when I said to her 5 years ago, we would have these things done and I've checked them all off, I probably could have done it in 4, right? But that vision is what drove me and now gives me the right to say, you should be more disciplined, because I'm someone that can exemplify discipline.
I love that we're having this conversation. We're talking about goal setting.
But that's why I asked you who you fire and who you're hiring, because that's part of setting big goals next year.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, you heard on the call here, I'm talking to guys about bonus structures for next year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
you saw I brought on a guy full time this year too. Like my staff is growing. So it's like, well,
it's power.
Is it right? Could I slim this down? Could I pay somebody this much money and get more output? I'm cold hearted. I am. When it comes to business, I will cut you off and move without you because I got pace. I'm trying to run a 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like I can...
There's that flash.
Yep. So if I feel like I can slim the fat to maybe grow more, I'm not afraid to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm also learning how to be a good leader and learning how to be patient with people, because people make mistakes and I make mistakes and I'm still...
It's a
understand
thing.
that.
We are human.
Yeah.
We are human. And being in a leadership role now, I have to balance that all the time. And it's that tough thing of because I'm naturally a people pleaser.
Do I want to choke slam you, karate kick you in the throat, or just tell you look great today and keep it moving?
Right.
Yeah.
What's going to be the best outcome? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And I'm dealing with guys and money. There's no women in the business that I'm dealing with. So it's very Wolf of Wall Street bro, where I don't sugarcoat. You're messing up here. Do better here. You're doing good here. Do better. Hey man, I really appreciate everything you're doing for us this year, but I need to talk to you about something. You'll never hear me talk to my employees like that, ever.
Yeah.
It's laughable.
No,
Because I'm just going to come to you and be like, bro, we agreed this is the common goal. You're not online with the common goal. What's going on? Because we eat what we kill. All of my employees, except a few, are not on salary. They are on commission. We eat what we kill. If I bring in sales or I close sales, you get paid. If you bring leads, you get paid. If you don't do that, we're gonna have a low month, brother. I don't know what to tell you. We're eating the meat off the bone from last month's deer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody brought anything to kill. So it motivates everybody to kill. So my job, I feel like in leadership, is actually more motivating and educating my guys to be better salesmen. Not so much like even accountability. It's like they don't even know what to be accountable to because they're not salesmen, they're traders. You know what I'm saying? The guys that are like part of my staff there.
Yeah, it's a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hard to coach.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I'd much rather coach a trader on how to make money trading than having to work with these guys that don't think about posting on Twitter, but I have to teach them how to post on Twitter.
And stay on them.
Yeah. And stay consistent and not seem scammy and not come off salesy. Do it in a genuine, authentic way.
It's not sales if you're providing real value.
And like I said earlier, I hate these people that convince.
Yeah.
In persuasion, convincing, that sales tactic, which is Wolf of Wall Street. I don't like that at all.
No, I'm not a fan.
And that's
of that.
why I make so much content. You were asking about all the content I do and everything. I make all this content, so it's like, damn, if I think about learning how to day trade, Austin comes to mind. I'm just shotgun spraying the internet. So when you're ready, I'm here. And then in 3 years, when you decide to finally buy, because you tried 8 other courses and they all sucked, you'll know who was there the whole time, telling you the same message, showing you the same chart markups from 2016, looks the same to now.
Yep.
That's the consistency that sells to people, I think, in any industry, right? Because if you have a guy building a roof on your house, you want to trust the new guy because he's $1,000 cheaper, $5,000 cheaper, or you want the guy that's built roofs for 40 years? I'm going to pay for the guarantee, basically, that roof is great.
It goes a long way. Experience goes a long way.
Yep.
So let's talk back to St. Pete here for a sec. What are your top places to eat now? Now that you live downtown, you're a little more. You're another year seasoned on St. Pete.
Banu, right?
Banu.
Is that what we say? Is that how you say it? Yeah. The guy the Italian dude that's in there was from the same village my mom's from. So that's interesting brownie points. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I think the vibe, the portion size, I'm very critical of the food. Speaking of, did you see my post today about the 15% tips?
Yes.
Which proves my point. The tipping in St. Pete is outrageous. You go to the popsicle place and buy a popsicle. I don't care if I'm mentioning them. Whatever. 20% for this girl who's getting paid minimum wage probably to just open a freezer and hand me a popsicle. She's not making it. She's handing me 20%. And it's not even directly to her. It's not. Because when you tip on the iPad, that goes into the main system. That increases bottom line revenue. They're paying tax on that, then they pay that girl out. That makes the business look like it's making more money. That's not what I want to support. I want to support this girl. I'm better off giving her $1.25 than putting 20% on that iPad. So it's infuriating. So it was good to see that poll that most people don't do that.
I know this is a constant thing.
One other one, and then we'll finish. When they bring you the thing, hey, could you put your tip in? Yeah, give it to me and look away. Because I don't need you seeing how much. Like, remember back in the day, you would not. The waiter would never see the tip until you left. Right. But you would close it. They would never take the tip and open it while you were still sitting and eating.
Right.
It's just so wrong.
It's like waiting like this.
Show me you're giving me at least 20, 22, or 24. How about you get $1 and you know, stick it where the sun don't shine. All right. So favorite restaurants. So
Banu.
Banu's good.
Yep.
They don't bring you an iPad, I don't think, to push the tips. So that's already another plus. I like Bavaro's. I like Italian food. Bavaro's is good for, so if you want just traditional Italian food, you want to pick anything from the menu, it's going to be good. You go to Banu. If you want pasta, you go to Bavaro's. Their pizza's okay. If you want like a lunch, hey, let's go grab a sandwich. Bodega's got the best sandwiches by far. Hawker's, I like it. Everybody in our friend group doesn't like it. The duck fried rice with the crispy duck, bro, like that's.
I like Hawker's.
The bao buns, bro.
The bao buns are so good.
Your mom, when we took her, she was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Just try it.
Yeah.
Open your mind.
Open your mind."
And then she loved it. Riley likes Cali. Got to go with Cali. It's always good bowls. Good.
I don't feel like people talk about that place enough on here. I think it'd be more like it's. I think it's pretty popping.
It's pretty popping when I go there too. So it must be like, oh, you didn't know about that?
Right.
And then I guess I'll give Tony's Pizza a plug.
Now, where does that rank on your pizza scale?
I mean, the best you're gonna get. If 10 would be like when I was in New York a couple weeks ago, you grab the $3 or $1.50 slice, so 2 slices for $3, crispy, like no sag, bro, like the right way. That's a 10. This is a 6.2, 6.3. Good enough. I'll buy it consistently.
Man, not even a 7.
No. Yeah, Bavaro's, I would give that a similar 6.1.
That's low.
No,
for how often you eat there, that's.
I don't
low,
eat the
bro.
pizza.
Oh, the pizza at Bavaro's.
Yeah. The
okay,
pizza.
okay.
Angelo's Pizza. I had Angelo's. That's on 4th, right off 4th Street. 6.5, 6.4, a little bit better. Yeah, better portion size, better toppings. The one place puts uncooked onions on the top of the pizza. Like, at least saute the onions up and make them taste good. Don't just cut a red onion and put it on top of the pizza. That's just no care.
No care.
But again, the service thing is crazy. So I'm big on, look, do a good job. Let me just tip you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would much rather, and that's why I do start to have a little bit more cash on me. Give the waiter $20 and just be like, bro, thank you. For $100, give him a $20 bill. That's 20%, right? That's still fair, I think.
And they'd rather have cash.
But it's rather than on your iPad. You know what I mean? And because then I know it goes to everybody. Well, I don't know what the guy in the back is doing, shaking his lice into the meal before he gives it to me, bro. Oh, and I tip him for that? You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So
yeah,
I'm big on the service. Got to give good service.
Yeah.
But I actually would be totally understanding if the people at Chipotle were completely rude. They make no money. I would totally understand if they are unhappy to serve me my food. So why would I tip you?
Yeah.
Be unhappy. You don't get a tip.
It's a whole. We should have a poll on this.
When I put a poll on it, clip it. When I go to Burns, you don't give anything less than 18%. That's just disrespectful. It's a nice restaurant. Unless it's awful. If it's awful, you break and you go below 18. Because that's the sign to them that something was wrong. And if I'm really feeling it, I'll write it on the thing. If they're given the paper and the pen. But nobody does the paper and the pen anymore. But I think at a nicer restaurant, look, man, you put on the black shirt, black pants, tuck your shirt in, I'm going to give you a little more of a tip than the girl at Chipotle whose hair's like hanging loose into my chicken. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. To me, this
Austin
is
Silver, folks.
It's not a crazy concept.
No, it's
I'm
not.
just realistic.
No, you are.
You get what you do. Like, you get paid for what you do.
You are one. You speak your mind, and you are authentic to yourself.
The fact that people would not speak their mind about the Chipotle people is crazy. Because, like, again, you get what you pay for in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to be paid correctly, provide great service, there will be. How many people get really great service and leave a shitty tip? I think very few. 0.
There's definitely some.
How many people get shitty service and still leave a great tip?
That's more.
A lot.
Yeah.
So am I the wrong one for calling it out, or are they the wrong ones for doing something stupid?
I don't know.
Right.
It's tough.
No, you do know, because you're not
It's tough.
stupid.
No, I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb.
Right.
I guess I just...
You
I-
feel for the service people.
Well, not that I feel, but they're a human.
You feel for them.
Yeah.
I don't. No sympathy. Did I force, this is America. Did I force you to work at Chipotle? No. Go do what I just told you to do 40 minutes ago in a podcast and figure out something you're good at. Bro, there's people making money on TikTok that have no college degree, no nothing. And like, you got an employee here. She might quit your shit and go work for TikTok, bro, when she hears
No,
this.
She just started a candle company, plugging that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you better
not
watch
allowed to
out.
quit, though.
People underestimate how easy that is, but they'll rather bitch about their Chipotle job.
Yeah.
That's on them. So what? I'm the bad guy for calling it out as it is? Nah, bro. You made your own bed. I hustled.
Well, I think now with the internet, you definitely can figure something out.
And I think people.
I think before, if you didn't have
Yes.
access to information,
Yeah, screwed.
but now who doesn't have an iPhone?
Just go churn butter back then.
Yeah,
Because
right.
like that's like in my head, it's like basically churning butter and then technology. There's always been opportunity. You just gotta want it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think you could take all my money away, take all the success, take my whole brand and everything away. Do you really think I wouldn't do it again? Like and be able to rebuild it? No, everyone would know I could. So it's all starting with belief and confidence, which is my bigger point that we mentioned earlier of people have no confidence, people are afraid, but it's because in America, where we need our revival of American spirit, people are not incentivized to be entrepreneurial. Go get a degree, take on the debt, get a job, maybe you'll pay it off, interest will kill you, they don't tell you that, right? Get at the house, take on the debt, you get better, you're like, wait a minute. They made me take out debt for student loans, make me take out debt for a mortgage, I got debt on my credit cards, my car payment is high, I live in debt. But I kind of wanted to go do this thing for myself and like start this farm and sell my meat off my farm. But no one really incentivized that. No one talked to me about that thing that I could have done that would have made me money in my pocket. No degree, no nothing else, right? It's not incentivized. It's not pushed as a good thing. And I think it should be. That's why for me, when I raise my family, it needs to be in a community of people like that. That's the most important thing to me.
Moving to a ranch?
No, not necessarily a ranch, but a community of people where entrepreneurship is not shunned. It's not foreign to hear about a kid that dropped out of college to start a company like I did.
Right.
That's foreign.
Well, I think it's becoming more and more regular.
Sure, but I think that's what I want to be like around for my kids.
Yeah.
So it's totally encouraged. Oh, you have an idea that's not being done yet? That's even better. I just did something that's already done. I didn't come up with anything new. I have trading strategies that are mine, but I didn't build anything new. Look at what some of these people are doing, bro. With confidence and self-belief instilled in them, they come up with great ideas. Look at Elon
Confidence
Musk.
is key.
You got to make people more confident. In America, the spirit's beat down. I'm not confident in what I can do. I'm not confident in myself. I need the government to hand me more money. I need more help. I need more help. That's not that's the American victim mindset that's plaguing us, bro. It really is. People need to just believe in themselves more, but they're not incentivized to. Like I said, it's a problem.
Just believe.
Yeah, in
Just
yourself.
believe. Yeah, for sure. Where can people find you?
Austin Silver FX on social. ASFX.BIZ is the website. Just Google me. I come up.
Google him. He's there. He's there, folks. If they've made it this far,
The
Austin.
Day Trading Show podcast.
Yeah.
t-shirts
He's
for
got
that.
that. ASFX TV.
Yeah.
All you're all over, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome. If they're still with us, and man, thank you for hanging in there.
I hope so. I mean, I'm more captivating than some of your other guests. Let's be honest.
No. You are.
I get Dom laughing in the background, bro.
If they're still with us, what should they comment below? One word.
America.
America, folks. If you're still here, put America in the comments. Check him out on all the social. Just Google Austin Silver. You can't miss him. Love him or hate him. Here he is. Back for round 2. Appreciate you, bro, and everything you do. Excited.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate your support and the
Always.
growth of the podcast. And yes, if you're still with us, check out Moore's Resource Insurance. If you need home insurance, if you need car insurance, if it has insurance in it, you need to just give them a call.
Kayak insurance, boat insurance, skateboard insurance.
Whatever it is. If it's got insurance in the word, they're there for you. And also, Bogdan Homes. Luxury is an experience, not a price point. We're here to help you getting into your next home, whether it's an investment property, your next dream home, your home on the water. Doesn't matter. We do it all, folks. Appreciate you. Love you all. See you on the next one.
How long was that?
Over an hour.
Hour and a half.
Okay. I was going to say, it was pretty long.
Yeah.
Longer than the first one.
Yeah, that first one was only